Elizabeth, you just got back from training with the Nigerian national team. We're a few months away from the rescheduled Tokyo Olympics. What was that experience like?
It was great. It's always great to be on the court. For me, it was a new set of women to play with, and it was just an opportunity for us to prepare for the Olympics, to get to know each other even better. So it was a great experience for me.
What, if any, concerns do you have about playing in Japan this summer?
Yeah, obviously we're still in a pandemic, and COVID is evolving really rapidly, but we're hoping that Japan will make sure that they have the proper protocols and medical staff. We don't know if there will be fans or not, but I'm optimistic that the Olympics will still happen, but they might look a little different.
Would you be disappointed if the Olympics are canceled?
I would be disappointed. This is a unique year and a unique opportunity for me, especially to play in the Olympics. So I still hope that it can go on.
This is your fourth go-around in Turkey. You played for Botas twice. You also played in Russia and China. What keeps bringing you back?
I've always liked playing in Turkey. I've always had good experiences here. The people here are really friendly. I enjoy the food, which is really important too. So yeah, I think it's just been a combination of the people, and I've had good relationships with the clubs here, so it's brought me back.
And you've learned the language as well.
Yeah, I've learned a little Turkish, especially this year because my whole team is Turkish. So I've had to pick it up a little more and try to use apps on my phone. And I think it's important to at least try to learn a little bit about the language.
In light of the events that happened last year, including last summer, surrounding the Black Lives Matter movement, do you think there's a greater increase in interest around Black History Month?
I do think there is a greater interest. I think part of this is due to the pandemic because everybody has had to stop and reflect and think about kind of the greater society. And so between the Black Lives Matter protests in the summer and Black History Month, I think people want to understand what allyship looks like, and people want to understand the importance of Black history.
You're a well-traveled baller. How is the focus around BLM movement affected the way you're treated playing overseas?
I think I've kind of reflected on that more. I'm definitely appreciative of being someone who's traveled the world and experienced different cultures and seen how different communities of color are treated. I do think there is a privilege in being an athlete in a foreign country and how the fans treat you and how the general public treats you. Because that's not necessarily the case when we're back in the U.S. And so there are definitely things that I obviously appreciate about the States, but there are things that I appreciate here that I would hope that I wish more people traveled more and could see the values.
So as the headlines suggest, Kelly Loeffler is close to selling her stake in ownership of your team, the Atlanta Dream. We've even heard LeBron James' name bandied about. What are your expectations for whatever owner comes forward?
I'm really optimistic about the new ownership group that comes in. I think ultimately what we've seen is that we need an owner that reflects our values and our league's values. And so I think the league is going to do the right thing, and ultimately I'm excited.
I mean, how heavy was that to deal with that off the court and then do your job on the court?
It is heavy, and I think for a lot of us, basketball was used as a release, and we were really fortunate to have it in our bubble season.
This last year has not only seen a pandemic, but also racial, social, and civil unrest in America. How have you processed all that's gone on?
It's heavy, honestly, when you think about it, this year has been filled with a lot of trauma and a lot of loss, whether it's due to COVID or due to police brutality and the racial divide that we've been seeing. And so I think for me, it's been a lot of reflection. It's been a lot of relying on my circle, on my people, talking to a sports psychologist, therapy, meditation, just different ways to kind of keep my mind right and be appreciative of everything that I have despite what's going on.
Is keeping your mind right something that you took for granted in previous years?
I think I've grown even more in that regard, whether it's like seeing a therapist or meditating or journaling, because those are things that generally I don't like to do, but I know that they're important for me. And as this year passed especially, it's become even more important, and I think other people are understanding that value as well.
And then how do you keep that momentum going? You have a new president, new administration, some people might take their foot off the gas a little bit heading into 2021. How do you keep that momentum going?
I think, now it's about accountability. People have done the work. People went out and voted, voted in record numbers at that. And so now it's a matter of making sure that these people that we elected into these positions are making the changes that we talked about, and that we're seeing the progress that we wanted to see and that we worked for.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Elizabeth. Appreciate it.
Thank you.